This is Super Yacht News with Sisman.
Hi, welcome back to the channel. Now, police are investigating a strong-armed robbery on a yacht in Miami. If you don't know what strong-armed robbery is, stay tuned. I will explain it because I had to look this up myself. But anyway, the police are investigating an incident on an unidentified yacht Sunday along the Miami River after guests allegedly threatened the boat crew and possibly robbed the captain, possibly. Miami police received a 911 call just before 9 p.m. on Sunday about an armed robbery suspect inside a yacht on the river near the wharf, Miami. Now, the police have since clarified that this was not an armed robbery situation, but it was possibly a strong armed robbery. So what happened? The incident began after guests who had paid for a day charter were advised by the crew that their time was coming to an end. Police say two men became agitated and aggressive with the boat crew and demanded a full refund. One of the men allegedly threatened to kill the captain and throw him overboard if he turned the yacht around. A crew member claimed that he saw the men take the captain's cell phone and wallet, but police say there were conflicting statements from the people on the yacht. The yacht was later docked and police boarded the vessel from land and by the water, and everyone on board was evacuated, including the crew. Now, one of the people on board apparently is quite famous. I've never heard of him personally, but his name is Quavo, and he's a rapper, part of a hip-hop group called Migos. And he was on board at the time of the incident, but they said he was not named as one of the aggressors, one of the two people that was starting the trouble on board. And his real name is Quavo Marshall, and he was one of the several people on board. Apparently there were 17 people on board, but I don't know if that's including the crew or not. In the statement on Monday, Quavo's attorney said that the rapper wasn't mentioned in the police report and he wasn't listed as a witness to the alleged dispute. The police added that although two firearms were located on board the vessel, that no threats were made with those weapons. Now, several people were detained at the scene, including the rapper, who was seen, you can see him in this photograph here, with his hands zip-tied behind his back. But no arrests were made due to conflicting statements from witnesses. That's what the police said. So officials added that an investigation is underway. Now, what is a strong-arm robbery? I've never heard this phrase before. I had to look it up. This is a definition I got from a law website in the US. It says a strong-arm robbery is also known as a common law robbery and is a specific type of larceny wherein the defendant does not use a deadly weapon to commit the criminal offence. Instead, the defendant will either use intimidation tactics, a threat of force, or actual force to intentionally deprive the victim of their property. So anyway, that investigation is ongoing, and if we get any more information about it, we will bring it to you. Now, just before we started filming today, we got a photograph through, a single photograph through. I'll put it on screen. You can see this is the tall ship, the Bark Europa, that toppled over in South Africa, in the shipyard in Cape Town in South Africa a couple of months ago. The vessel was on a unit being moved back to the synchro lift to go back in the water after a dry dock period when the vessel toppled over, injured one of the crew, and that crew member is now out of hospital and he's at home resting. The photograph shows that they've got this device around it, and there are two strops underneath the hull of the vessel, and it's probably, I'm not quite sure exactly how it's working, but it's lifting the vessel, and you can see it's almost completely righted. So that's good news for the vessel. We mentioned in a previous video that the shipyard had brought in someone who's quite famous in the industry to complete that job of righting the vessel, and he's the same person who managed the salvage operation of the Costa Concordia. His name is Nick Sloan. And an industry professional told us at the time that Nick is the absolute best in the business, and his appointment makes perfect sense given that he lives in Cape Town. So it seems like he didn't waste any time getting down there and getting all the equipment in place to right that vessel. So that's great news. We will bring you an update on that. Like I said, we just got the photograph in just before we went live. All right, so we've got some yacht spots here, some interesting yacht spots from around the world. The first one is Motor Yacht Anawa. Now, I had a few people send me photographs of this yacht, thinking it was the Motor Yacht Ragnar, but this is a Motor Yacht Anawa, and these photographs are from Pender Harbour, which is in British Columbia, which is about, I'm told, 100 miles north of Vancouver. Now, the yacht was built by Damon Yachts, who are quickly becoming the go-to company if you want a support vessel. This is a Sea Explorer model, and the cost of this yacht was around $100 million. The yacht has a heli deck. As you can see, there's a helicopter on board there. Heli deck and a helicopter hangar. Now, how does the helicopter hangar work? Basically, they have an elevator floor that comes up to meet the level of the deck. The helicopter lands on it. The rotors are folded away, and then the helicopter goes down on the elevator inside, and then the doors close on top. Very similar to Planet 9, which is another vessel that we featured recently. The specs of this vessel, 62 meter or 203 feet. And like I said, it's built by Damon Yachting, and the owner is Jorge Paulo Lemon, who's a Brazilian billionaire. And the next boat we'll move on to, motor yacht Pi in Norway. This was spotted in Bergen Harbour in Vargen, I believe it's pronounced. The 77 meter or 252 foot yacht was originally named Syzygy 818. The yacht is owned by former CEO of Starbucks, Howard Schultz. Very nice photographs there, and they were sent in. I'll put the names of the people who sent these in. These are all from subscribers, and it's registered in my favourite place. This boat is. It's registered in Bloody Bay. If you've seen that intro that I do of eSysman, it says Bloody Bay underneath. So what's interesting is about this is when I mentioned this boat recently, they were in Scotland, and I said that, you know, because it's Howard Schultz, former CEO of Starbucks, I said that word is he's in search of a good cup of coffee. Now, I got a Scottish person got very upset with me about this, saying he was going to unsubscribe and never watch the channel again because I insulted Scottish coffee. That's not what I was making the joke about. The joke was that he's the former CEO of Starbucks and he's looking for a good cup of coffee because Starbucks coffee is not very good. That was the joke. But obviously, you got to explain your joke. It's not funny, right? So anyway, move on. One more vessel. This was also in Canada. This is motor yacht Silver Chalice. The owner of this boat is Larry Silverstein, who's the developer of the World Trade Center. And this was spotted near Prince Edward Island in Canada. This is a 54.8 meter or 179 foot yacht built by Delta Marine in the US in 2010. All right, so if you haven't watched our latest video, our latest feature video yet that came out on Sunday, please be sure to click the link up here. It's one of our best videos technically yet. It's you know, we've got some great footage of this marina. Go and check that out, please, if you haven't seen it. Not as popular as I might have expected it to be after it launched on Sunday. If you sign up to patreon.com/eSysman, you'll find 2 extra videos on this same marina on there, and you know, these are not going to be published on YouTube. The marina is called Cala del Forte in Ventimiglia in Italy, and there's 2 extra videos on the Patreon channel or Patreon page, whatever they call it. And you'll also get to see Patreon chat series and the Atlantic vlog series and the Patreon only Q&A series on there as well. And obviously all the features that go on there without any adverts. Also remember to check out our news channel. It's called SuperYacht News. You type at superyacht-news into YouTube, you'll find the channel. And it's basically these videos cut down into small bite-sized chunks. All right, guys, if you've got any information about any of the stories here today or any other stories, please be sure to get in touch. You can do so in the normal fashions. You can get us on the About page of the YouTube channel. You can get us on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook Messenger, on Threads, and on Threema. And please be sure to like this video, very important for the algorithm. Hit the subscribe button and hit the bell for future notifications. All right, guys, please go and check out that video. If you haven't seen it, you don't know what you're missing. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. I'll catch up with you soon. Bye-bye. As I said, welcome back to Italy. Welcome to Cala del Forte. Now, this is a marina that was